Welcome to Stewart Media and Entertainment. This is Doug Stewart. I am your host for today. We got a great guest that we're going to talk to about a lot of big things going on in his life and with his company. I'll introduce him here in a second, but we're going to talk to AK Equicore. That's right, AK Equicore. He's a certified sports performance and NCAA college recruiting specialist. Coach AK, as he's most commonly known as, was a former professional track and field athlete, four-time track and field All-American, Inspirational Award winner, and current school record holder from the University of Oregon in 2005 and 2006. He held the top 10 world ranking in the 4x100 meter relay. I mean, this guy is big time. He has worked with over 1,000 athletes around the globe and holds professional certifications as a sports performance specialist, NCAA Division I certified recruiting specialist, United States track and field certified coach, and functional movement screening specialist. AK is also an educator and is currently the Associate Dean of Students at St. Paul's School in Concord, New Hampshire. As a sprinter and hurdler, AK has coached and trained alongside professional athletes and Olympians. He has used his passion for sports to travel to more than 25 countries, competing and teaching life skills and athletic development. He has appeared in numerous print ads, TV commercials, companies including Nike, Earbuds, Women's Health, Sony, Fox Sports, and The Doctors. His most renowned appearance was on Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? He's much smarter than a fifth grader, and he joins us right now on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, Mr. AK Equicore. AK, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you for having me on the show today.
No problem. I mean, did I miss anything? I mean, you're well established, man. A great resume. Did I miss anything at all?
No, I mean, a few things. I go by Coach AK to make it easier.
Right. Let's talk about that. Stop right there. Talk about your last name. Obviously, you have I guess an unfamiliar like American type name. What's the heritage of your name?
So I'm a first generation in the United States. My parents came here from Nigeria in 1970. So my background is Nigerian.
Okay. Now you have an NGO, and now what exactly does that mean? In talking about exactly what AK Equicore is all about, you have an NGO. For a lot of people that don't know that acronym, talk a little bit about that.
Well, an NGO is a non-governmental organization, and in the United States, it's very similar to just a nonprofit. But with our NGO, we do have an international focus. So that is the difference. NGO, internationally, most people consider NGO and not nonprofit.
Okay, got you. Now, we are talking to AK Equicore, and you can actually get more information about him, his company, his NGO, as well as reach him directly at 365daysofak.com. So that's 365daysofak.com. Now, talk about that. What's so different about the sports camps that you've talked about in the past, and if you go to your website, you can see that. What's so different about that compared to an NGO?
Well, I mean, we are an NGO. Okay. And a little bit there's two different. My organization is called Empower to Play. Now, Empower to Play, our focus is to use sports as a tool to bring the world closer together. And right now, I do believe that there's a lot of nonprofits that are doing amazing things around the world. Mm-hmm. But I would say our differentiator is how we use sports to empower communities, as well as also potentially select high-achieving students to help them reach their dreams.
Wow. What sets your nonprofit apart from other nonprofits? Like, what makes you guys different?
Okay. Well, we believe that to first help someone, to first serve someone, you have to first step in their shoes. So what we do is we actually just got back from Quezon City, Philippines, and we actually stay and we live within the community that we're serving. So we had people from the United States coming over and actually sleep in the houses of kids in the shanty town
Wow.
to gain a different perspective. Right? You can read about poverty, but it's much different when you're actually sitting in a house, 10 by 10, of a family of 6, and eating with them, sleeping with them, and fellowshipping with them.
Wow.
You know, that's one. I would say another one that's pretty big is we're able to teach American football or other sports in under 48 hours. And not only teach the sport, but we're also able to, they play full-on competitions by the end of the 2-day camp.
Wow, wow. Talking to AK Equicore, and you kind of touched upon it just now a little bit before I even asked the question. Like, it sounds like this is something you're passionate about. It's something that you closely understand and that you've witnessed in your life. Is that one of the reasons why you took these steps to start your own NGO, is because of passion for the actual backstory behind this?
Man, to be honest, it didn't start off like that. I had a friend. His name was Kareem Jackson. He was living in the Philippines. This was in 2013. And I simply just went over there, and we decided to do a sports camp, just something fun.
Mm-hmm.
So we flew over there, and in 2 weeks, we put a sports camp together for 50 kids. We were hoping to only get, 10 to 20 show up, but we got 50 kids.
Wow.
And at that moment, things just switched for me.
Wow, wow. Talking to AK Equicore on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network about his NGO, 365daysofak.com. That's 365daysofak.com is how you can get more details about him and his NGO. Or you can even give him a call directly at 603-496-8144. What sets your nonprofit apart from other nonprofits out there? What makes you guys different?
Okay, well, I mean, the biggest difference is we introduce unfamiliar sports into communities, right? Mm-hmm. The reason why we use unfamiliar sports is because what we're actually trying to identify is high-achieving students that have never had the opportunity to showcase their skills. So if you know, around the world, we have no control what country we were born in, who our parents were. So ideally, when we go into these countries, we're trying to identify these students. And so by introducing this unfamiliar sport, we're able to see if the kids are disciplined, if their leadership potential, mm-hmm. the communication. Mm-hmm. And then from there, with the sports camp, we then give them educational scholarships. So we use Sports One to bring the community together. We co-facilitate the camp with the community members, meaning the moms, the dads, the brothers, and the sisters help us put this camp on together, as well as help select these scholars to give them educational scholarships to reach their dreams.
Wow, wow. And obviously it sounds like you have an entrepreneurial spirit about yourself, a mindset about yourself, very accomplished, obviously. What is it about being an entrepreneur helps connect you with what you're doing right now with the nonprofit in such a perfect way?
We all have, I believe, two options in life. And that is, we can either, live our purpose, or we can quit. I think in our lives we have the opportunity to make a big impact in this world, but I think it is fear that holds us back. We're told that we're not good enough, we're not strong enough, we're not good enough to take action to live our dreams. And I think your story is a powerful one, mm-hmm. right? When you started the Doug Stewart radio show, you had a lot of success with Two Live Stew.
Right.
So
right.
For you, how was that experience when you decided to get back into radio and start that?
You know what? And it's funny, you're flipping the interview on me, but that's fine. That's fine. But you know what, man? It's about a passion. And I tell people all the time, it's about a passion. It's something that I know that I'm good at. And then I just kind of wanted to take destiny into my own hands. Radio is definitely changing over the past couple of years. And so I kind of saw that, and I tried to put myself in a position where I could reach people to give them my particular kind of product, which is much different than everybody else. So I guess it's kind of like my thinking about the way radio should be, that it should be fun. You should have a good time. At the same time, I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit. It sounds like you do too. that kind of motivated me to go in this direction.
Yeah, and it's the same thing for me. My passion, I believe, the reason I'm on this planet is to make an impact, and to make an impact through sports. And for a while, I ran away from that. When I graduated from college, a lot of people talk about this, is being a college athlete.
Right.
At one point, it just ends.
Right.
You don't have a slow retirement process like Brett Favre.
Yeah.
and your identity is athletics, and when it's over, they say, "What are you going to do?" I'm like, "What do you mean? This is all I know. I put all my passion and all my desires into it." And then it just ends. So I had to redefine myself. And I ran away from it for a while, but I realized the way that I make the biggest impact is through sports.
Wow.
And so when I went overseas to the Philippines, I didn't realize as a 26-year-old and a mother is crying on my shoulder to say, this experience has changed my life for my daughter, and now she's able to reach her dreams and be the doctor she wants to be. It changed my life. And now I realize that this is what I'm supposed to be doing on this planet, and every day I work towards that.
We are talking to AK Equicore on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. I'm your host, Doug Stewart. You can reach AK at 365daysofak.com. There's a way on the website as well where you can email him. You can give him a call directly at 603-496-8144. Coach AK, as he's most commonly known as, is available for speaking engagements, clinics, consulting, and athletic performance training. It sounds like this and making a difference is kind of what keeps you motivated. Am I right?
Somewhat. I mean, I'm motivated, but one of the biggest things is I think we use sometimes motivation as a cop-out. Mm-hmm. There are probably billions, over 1 billion people on this planet that wake up and go to jobs that they don't like, classes they don't want to go to, but they do it every day unmotivated.
Right. Been there, done that.
So I don't believe it's motivation is a reason why we don't take action, right? It's not about feeling good, right? Motivation gets you hyped up. But if it doesn't cause you to put one foot in front of the other, then motivation is useless. Like, we're both athletes. What we did is we created a habit of we got to wake up and do the work.
Right.
Right. And at a point it came to where I actually feel more uncomfortable not to work out and do the work than actually go down there and train every single day.
And you know what? My daughter has just started running track, and I can attest, track ain't no joke. And I did say ain't. It is not a joke. And I never ran, organized track when I was in high school or anything like that. And so seeing it, and actually I started running Masters track over the last couple of years, people have no idea the grueling aspect of training for track and field. Nah,
I mean, and the whole point of track and field is how hard can you train in a day?
Right.
Right? Rolling on the ground in pain. And then the next day, wake up and forget yesterday even happened. That's like
right.
that's entrepreneurship right there.
That's right. That's exactly right. We're talking to AK Equicore on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. 365 Days of AK, 365daysofak.com is where you can get more information about him and about his nonprofit. You can also reach him at 603-496-8144. Speaking of being an athlete, man, college and professional, how does that translate into business?
Oh, I mean, the difference between athletics and working out is the competition.
Right.
Right. Every single person, when they do a sport or whatever, there's a day that they have to get on the line. There's a day that the gun goes off. There's a day that the whistle goes off, and they have to compete. And when you get on that line, everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to win. But the thing about athletics is who's going to excel under immense amount of pressure. Who's going to succeed?
Right.
I remember the first time I actually tried radio. I give you mad respect for that. Tougher than public speaking because you don't have that feedback.
Right.
And the first time I did it, I was so nervous, I actually stopped the show halfway through.
Wow.
So the same thing is with athletics and in business. At some point, you're going to have to stand up in front of a room and motivate a group or you're going to have to make a tough decision even when there's immense pressure on you to succeed. So it's the athletic mindset that's humongous. And second, it was delayed gratification. There is work that you do today that's going to benefit weeks, months, years down the line. So it is just staying consistent in what you're doing, working out every single day. And some days you may actually feel worse than the day before, but in the end, where are you trying to go? What's that glory you're trying to reach?
Wow. I've always had this discussion with people and being competitive. Is being competitive in your mind, is being competitive whether it's in sports or in business, is that something you're born with, or is that something you can obtain?
I believe you can attain it. Like me, I have to be honest, I grew up, I'm a triplet. I guess that's an interesting fact about me.
Wow.
So I came in this world a little bit competitive.
Right.
But
right. At the kitchen table, y'all were fighting over food, huh?
Exactly. But that competitive nature is you first got to put yourself into those situations, right? It's having that self-confidence in yourself that you are better, that you can achieve more. And it's these small victories, but you first have to put yourself out there. And the more you put yourself out there, the more you get yourself in these competitive situations, it's going to build that self-confidence where you can walk up on the line and say, you know what, I got this.
Right. It's almost just like what a coach has always told you from the beginning of time. Practice makes perfect. And I always tell my daughters, repetition, the more and more repetition you do of one thing, at some point it's going to become so natural it's not going to be a situation where you're even worried about it and you'll perform better.
Right. You make it a habit.
Yeah. Talking to AK Equicor on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. My name is Doug Stewart. You can check out AK at 365daysofak.com. You can also give them a call at 603-496-8144. I've been talking about the website all day long during this conversation, but talk a little bit about 365daysofak.com. What will people find when they log on to the website?
So 365 Days of AK, the premise of that site is what impact can one person make on the world in 365 days. So every day I post a video on ways you can make an impact because I believe that no matter who you are, no matter where you're from, you can make an impact on this world. And I do a lot of this through 365 Days of AK as well as my NGO, empower2play.org.
Wow. You just talked about it. What impact can you make in 365 days? Can you share a couple of those with us that you posted on the website?
Yeah, 4 days after I started this on my 31st birthday. And 4 days after I posted, I actually flew off to Asia for the first Empower to Play camp where we actually taught 300 kids the game of American football in 48 hours. We also provided 2,500 meals and awarded 16 scholarships to kids. Back in the States, since that time, I've helped a homeless man find a job, and walked the streets of Boston, showing the effects one smile can make on a community.
Wow. I can imagine it was very interesting trying to teach some kids that haven't really experienced the American game of football and how interesting they reacted. What was that like in dealing with kids that really, didn't have a real up close and personal perception of American football? What was that like?
Well, first, we did this all through translators. So we actually had to we had to teach the translators at the same time as they were teaching the kids. So it was an amazing experience because they're receptive. And if you look at the images on empower2play, that's number2play.org, the kids love the game. They love it. And yes, there were some challenges at some points, but by the end, all the kids understood how to play the game. Boys and girls from ages 6 to 15 years old loved the game, played it, and they're still playing it today.
Wow. He just talked about it just now. He gave a second website, Empower2, the number 2, empower2play.org. That's empower2play.org. Once again, you can find AK online at 365. That's 365 days of AK.com, as well as you can give them a call directly. And this is, almost unheard of in this industry, but you can call AK directly at 603-496-8144. What area code is that? Where are you at?
Man, I'm in New Hampshire. I actually live at a boarding school called Phillips Exeter Academy.
Okay. Awesome. What are your goals for Empower to Play? We just talked about the website. What are your goals for Empower to Play for the upcoming years?
Well, we're really excited. We just finished our 5-year strategic plan. We have a documentary coming out at the end of next month, documenting the process following one of the young scholars. Her name is Raylene Manila, about her mission to become a doctor and how the world came together to make that happen. In addition, we are expanding into other countries. We're looking to go into Haiti in December, and we're going to be offering more sports and in more communities, more scholarships. And we're also building a student ambassadors program in the U.S. so that student athlete leaders that are giving back within their community. And one thing that we're really excited about is we're having athletes that are getting interested about us being their philanthropic arm, where they can actually help host a camp in one of these communities.
Wow, great stuff. I guess kind of those things you just talked about are kind of, I would say, almost short term, very attainable in the short term. What about 5 years from now? What about 10 years from now? Where do you see your nonprofit at, and where do you see AK Equicore at in 10 years?
Well, there's an interesting story about this. Me and my brother were doing a little competition, and the competition, he said, it's one of my videos. It's called Limitations and Confidence. And he said the competition was to get on a treadmill and see how long we can run on a speed of 10 for 10 minutes. He was able to go for 4 minutes. And for me, my goal was, okay, let's see if I can go for at least for 10. Mm-hmm. I ended up going for 12 minutes. And what that made me think about was the limitations that we set on ourselves. When I first started Empower to Play, my goal was to help 50 kids. Right now, we've helped over 300, provided over 5,000 meals, and that was just on a simple vacation of how it started.
Wow.
As we're looking to go to all 6 continents and provide and teach unfamiliar sports to several regions around the world. And what we want to do is we really want to bring the world together and join and collaborate with other individuals, other nonprofits, other businesses about moving this mission forward, about providing over 500 scholarships to kids, working with other communities. So we're really excited, and we believe that anybody, no matter your circumstance, no matter your situation, can make an impact on the world. And we want to make that opportunity with Empower to Play to make that happen.
Powerful, powerful stuff on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. 365 days of AK.com. That's 365 days of AK.com. You can also check out what he's doing on empower2play.org, or you can just call this man up directly at 603-496-8144. Once again, 603-496-8144. Tremendous stuff, man. Tremendous talking to you today. Tremendous to have this conversation with you, man. Good luck to you in the future, and we'll talk to you down the road.
I appreciate it. Great stuff you're doing as well.
Wow.
Really great stuff.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. There he is, AK Equicore, on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network.